Hi, comic girl. I am so excited to share my C2E2 haul with you. I bought so much stuff. This is my first time going to C2E2 as someone who's into comics. I went in 2020 right before the pandemic hit, and I was there for work more than anything, and I wasn't reading comics at the time, and so I really missed out on amazing people. So I was really excited to jump back in and kind of actually explore C2E2 and see everything that it has to offer, especially in terms of like Artist Alley and some of the writers that were there. So, and of course, meeting YouTubers and Instagrammers from the community, which was so much fun. I didn't get to see everyone that I was hoping to meet, but if I missed you, I hope I get to see you next time. And then I was just excited to meet everyone that I did. So I guess we'll start with some of the art that I picked up. I love buying art. I love buying prints, especially any exclusive prints. Behind this camera is a whole gallery wall, and as you can see, there's even a Matt Taylor X-Men print right there. So I was really excited to add more to my collection, even though it usually takes me months to get something framed. So my first piece of art is an X-Men Jubilee print from Ben Harvey. It's just gorgeous. I also really appreciate any kind of art that has like watercolor to it, and looks like that it was created in that medium. Watercolor is just one of my favorite mediums in general. So I saw this and it was perfect just to add to my X-Men art collection. And additionally, from Ben Harvey, he had an artist sketchbook. So here we see Rogue. There's just so many beautiful characters and art in here. A lot of X-Men, which I personally really loved. When I went through it, I was like, this is absolutely something that I need. So, I can't wait to add this to like my little artist book collection, because I picked up one from Jenny Frison that was like about her with her covers. So the other print that I got, which I was so excited, I bought it really early on the first day, really not thinking through I would have to just carry it everywhere that I go. It's the Tula Lotay Department of Truth print. She had made a variant cover, and now that I've like read Department of Truth and I've loved it, I really wanted to pick up the issue with this cover variant. And then I was walking by her table and I saw just the large print and I kind of freaked out. I was like, I absolutely need that. And yeah, so I picked it up very early on. So next I have a print from David Mack. Again, watercolor, very on brand for me, about reading books and the magic of books and Neil Gaiman. So it really just checks a ton of boxes. David Mack was the nicest person. We talked a little bit about Hawkeye, and we talked about his Daredevil run, which I haven't read, but I picked up a couple of Daredevil issues when I went hunting with Skeleton Key Comics. We went to Graham Cracker and I picked up just a few that I saw, and so he signed, I'll show you this one. So this is his kind of original indie comic, and then Daredevil. So good. And then I've been loving Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, so I felt like I just had to pick up this variant so that he could sign it. So that was really great meeting him. Again, such a wonderful person. just so sweet. He took his time with everyone at the table and didn't kind of rush anyone, or and he tried to make everyone really comfortable. Because I'm a really nervous person when it comes to talking to any of the artists or any of the writers, which is really funny considering I work in publishing and I should be used to it by now, but I'm not. And then I also saw Joelle Jones. So she writes Wonder Girl and Wonder Woman with Yara Flor, which I freaking love that run. So when I saw that she would be there, I got this copy signed. I just had to get basically my whole run signed that I have. So I got this. I didn't get Jenny Frison to sign this, which is really sad because she did this cover, but it's okay. I got a lot done by her. This one, and then this really beautiful DC Pride. So and last but not least from Joelle Jones, I picked up the library edition of Lady Killers before going to the con. So I was lugging this around all day, which my back was killing me by the end. And then not only did she sign it, but she drew in it. And I wasn't anticipating that. She just kind of started going for it. And I was just really excited and geeking really hard. So I haven't read this. I've just heard so much about Lady Killers. I really love her writing for Wonder Girl and Wonder Woman. And I have a feeling I'm going to like Lady Killers. The premise is really interesting to me. So I was really pumped for that. And then I saw Jenny Frison, who is just a superstar. Her artwork is phenomenal. I really considered getting her limited edition C2E2 print of Wonder Woman, but I'm just not a huge Wonder Woman fan, like classic Wonder Woman. And so it just didn't feel like that was the print for me, as beautiful as it was. But I got a couple of her covers signed. I think one of my favorites is the Going to Mexico one, or the Demon Days Mystique. I love this so much. And I just love Demon Days, so the fact that it just like came together. And then I got the Eat the Rich. This comic is actually from Jason from Claiming Comics, and so it was really cool to like add that into the collection and my personal my PC, and then also get it signed. She also had these judge books by their cover booklets, and I was just flipping through them, and then I grabbed this one. I didn't really look too much into it, and what I love is that there was like more X-Men in this one than I think some of the other ones, which is really cool. I was like, oh, you got Nightcrawler and Wolverine, Laura. So I thought that was fun. It was destined. So I'm excited to just like go through this and stare at her beautiful, beautiful art. And then for last but not least, getting books that I brought signed, because these are all, for the most part, books that I brought with me to get signed. I saw Chris Claremont, and it was amazing. I know that he's been known to just like be really chatty and incredibly nice and loves to just talk about his work. And again, I get really nervous, so I kind of shut down and I like forget all the words in my head, and I'm just, introducing myself and kind of standing there and gushing a little bit, and told him how much I love Magneto, and then he started going into just like him as a character, and then kind of rambled on some other topics, which I will post that video tomorrow. I just have to edit it a little bit so that way you guys can see what Chris was talking about. But I was so excited. I bought a bunch of books with me, and they're just like, some of these books are really just like the highlight of my personal collection. So it was really cool to just get them signed for myself. So one of the first ones was When Kitty Pryde is Welcomed into the X-Men. to have this signed was really, really, really amazing. I also got, this is a Magneto Origin. Some of these I got signed by him. I know they're not incredibly, like, they're not necessarily key issues or rare, but I love some of the X-Men, old school X-Men covers. And so this X-Men with Nightcrawler. I also really love Nightcrawler as a character, and I thought the story was really interesting. I actually had a second copy of the Magneto Origin, so I got this signed as well. Another Magneto. I love this one. And then Kitty Pryde is also a huge favorite of mine. So I picked up the Kitty Pryde and Wolverine limited series, and so I just got issue 1 signed, which I was really pumped for. I mean, this cover is absolutely beautiful. The cover, the colors. Also, it's December, and there's like snow on the cover, and it just gives me a little bit of like Christmas vibes. Makes me really happy. And then for the kind of like 2 comics that I was really excited to have Chris sign, was X-Men 141 and 142. I was like on a journey for like the last like month prior to C2E2 to search for them at local comic stores. I didn't want to buy them online. I really wanted to get them in person so that I can see them, hold them. And I was really fortunate to call First Aid Comics in a Hyde Park in Chicago, and they had just gotten a collection that actually had them in. So they hadn't even processed. I really just lucked out. So X-Men 141. So the Days of Future Past issues. They're so good. They're just such great stories. I really think they're wonderful. And I love, like, you know, Kitty Pryde is like really a main character in those 2 issues, and so it was just really amazing to meet him, to talk to him, to then get these comics signed. It felt like such a big deal. So that was all. Honestly, all of the signing got done in like the first day. I did a lot of like walking around, getting things signed, which it was a lot slower on Friday, and not having been in large crowds in a really long time, like, to me, it still felt really busy. But talking to people, they're like, oh, it's really slow. And it didn't necessarily feel slow to me. But I was walking around able to get everything signed and, like, completed within, like, the first, like, 2.5 hours of being at the con. And then afterwards, I went kind of just hunting around for some comics. I will say, like, I wasn't searching for anything in particular when I was at the con, just because I felt like anything I had really wanted, I brought with me to get signed, especially if I was searching for anything, it would have been like an X-Men title. So I ended up picking up only 3 other X-Men. I didn't end up getting them signed by Chris Claremont, which is okay, but I picked up X-Men Merry Christmas special. It's 143, Kitty Pryde on the cover. It just made me feel really festive. I love the colors. It's super bright. So I picked this one up. And then I also picked up X-Men 148, where it has the Dazzler and Spider-Woman. So again, just really fun covers. Storm, Dazzler, Kitty Pryde. It's just really hitting like all of the really badass women for me. And I've recently have picked up a few older Spider-Woman comics. So the fact that she was in this one made it even more appealing for me. And then I also grabbed X-Men Annual number 8. I'm really obsessed with the way that the characters are drawn in this one. Emma Frost, Kitty Pryde, I feel like at this point, if Magneto's on the cover, if Kitty Pryde is on the cover, I'm buying it. If I can afford it. Those are like my two go-to X-Men characters. And so, yeah, I was searching through the comic bins and I was like, oh my gosh, this has Kitty Pryde and a Christmas tree. I need this. Especially because I love Christmas time. So those were the comics that I was searching, not even necessarily searching for, but I picked those up on the first day. And then I was wandering Artist Alley and I saw Jay Lee, the artist. And I'm slightly familiar with his work because he did some work on Something is Killing the Children, but I just didn't, I never really did a deep dive into him. And so I saw that he was working on some commissions, and the banners that they had showed his previous commissions. They were so stunning. And they also had Department of Truth con exclusives, and that was really awesome, especially because I just read it. I read volume 1. I have yet to read volume 2. It's gonna happen. And so this is I believe this is the C2E2 exclusive that he did. And I believe they're inspired by Norman Rockwell. So this I grabbed this one on the last day. I was still debating on whether or not to get it because I picked up, my favorite was this. I'm not sure if this one was the New York Comic Con exclusive or not, but I know each of them come with a certificate of authenticity, and each are from a limited series of 400 copies. So this is Department of Truth 14, and this is Department of Truth number 12. So I was really excited to grab these, which I also think from volume 1 to volume 2, they skip over, I think 12, 13, and 14. I could be wrong, but that would be pretty cool because then I only need one more and then I can jump into the second volume. And then I went to, I think it was called Unknown Comics, but they had a crap ton of variants, tons and tons and tons of variants, and they had a special where it was buy 3 get 3, and I was well, at that point 100% I'm going to do this. So very much on brand. Basically every single comic is an X-Men variant. We have an homage cover. I really love homage covers, period. If someone is doing an homage cover for even a comic I'm not reading and it looks pretty cool, I want it. So this really spoke to me. X-Men Gold with Kitty Pryde. I recently picked up the trade for X-Men Red by Tom Taylor. I'm excited to read that. And then I have been searching for the X-Men Hellfire Gala single issues that look like fashion magazines. So they had a few. Great. Captain Britain, Hellfire. So Excalibur. Then a planet-size X-Men, but it has Storm. I mean, look how freaking badass she looks. Just like a queen right there. So good. And then I got another homage cover, which this was just so perfect to me because I just got the other one signed by Chris Claremont, the original, and now I have this really fun variant. And then the other one I got was Gwenom vs. Carnage. It's just super sweet, really cute. Any kind of Gwenom I tend to pick up. Gwenpool, all of it. I really, really like. And then I told myself I want to buy Funko Pops. I bought Funko Pops. So let me grab those. So the Funko Pops I ended up picking up, it wasn't a lot, it was just 2, but still, I was I don't actually need more because I had ordered in the mail a Magneto Funko Pop and then a Polaris. So those arrived when I was at C2E2 and I was dear Lord, what and where will I put these? So I ended up picking up this little guy. He is from Dishonored, which is a video game my boyfriend really likes and plays like a lot. So when I saw it, I just thought it was really fun. And so now it sits by his Xbox, which is really cute. Makes me happy. And then I got Rogue. So I love the fact that they have her in like a little stand. And so she's kind of like flying, which makes me really happy. I like the ones where they're not just like kind of like standing, where they have like a little bit of movement to them. So I hadn't seen this one before. So I picked it up, and it wasn't like breaking the bank in terms of like how expensive. There were some Funko Pops there that were like so expensive. I don't know if anyone has seen Arcane. It's fucking awesome. It is based off of League of Legends. I don't play League of Legends, and I really don't have any familiarity with the lore, but I watched it. I cried like tons of times, just like weeping. And then I got curious, and I was like, oh, I wonder if there are any Funko Pops. And there are. And because I think they were made in the past, like they're not new releases or anything like that, they've now shot up in price because Arcane is amazing, and so people are like, oh, I want like little collectibles inspired by this really badass story. And I saw one at C2E2 of Jinx, and it was really cool. I will say, she has like her little gun and the cute hair, and the colors are really vibrant. They were asking $125, and I was like, no way, like, could not ever spend that much money on a Funko. But to each their own. To anyone who is like, who maybe does spend that much. I spend a lot of money on comics and books, so I guess, you know, here I am. But so that's everything that I purchased and got signed. It's a lot. Like, I feel like I just need to take a day and just like, you know, get things hanged, put them on the wall, organize them in my boxes, and also like read through some of the things that I got. Man, it was so expensive. I spent so much money. I went in there with like a firm budget and then definitely surpassed that. And just because like going out with people, buying food, getting drinks, all of that stuff was like included in it too. So it was a lot of fun. If you went to C2E2 or even like any of the other cons, I know New York Comic Con and Emerald City Comic Con were like right before C2E2. Let me know what you purchased, or if you like any of the things that you saw in this video. Like and subscribe. I know that I've been gone for a month, but I promise I'm coming back. And so this is one of my first videos back, and I will also be posting a Chris Claremont video as well. So I recorded him while I was getting my book signed, as well as Sammy and Tony from Skeleton Keys. They were getting their stuff signed, so I think I recorded through that as well. But yeah, let me know what you think of everything that I got.